Welcome to another edition of InvestorIdeas.com AI podcast. This podcast brings you breaking stock news in AI and its impact on various industries. Listen to exclusive interviews with thought leaders and experts as they discuss how AI is shaping our future. And if you're interested in being a guest or sponsoring this groundbreaking podcast, you can contact us at 800-665-0411 or visit InvestorIdeas.com. Hello and welcome to another episode of Investor Ideas AI podcast. In today's podcast, we're going to be looking at the overall AI market over 2024 and what this means going into 2025, with a different U.S. administration coming in and a changing landscape of the AI industry. So who were some of the big winners of 2024? Well, no doubt if you've been following the space, you're more than well aware of some of the main success stories of the year and the top dogs in the AI space, but it is worth looking back to see what caused some of these meteoric rises. Everyone knows NVIDIA Corporation, trading on the NASDAQ as NVDA, who has been at the forefront of AI discussions due to its leadership in GPU technology, which is crucial for AI and machine learning applications. And this saw their stock have a huge gain of over 180% over the year. Now, one of the big moments for NVIDIA this year was when they showcased their advancements in generative AI at CES 2024, including updates to their RTX video super resolution and the introduction of AI microservices for developers. Now, the microservices through NVIDIA AI Enterprises were a big introduction, including tools for easier AI software development, and they also announced updates to their DGX systems for AI computing. Now, just earlier this month, Equity Lab, in collaboration with Intel, trading on the NASDAQ as INTC, and NVIDIA, announced the release of the Verifiable Compute AI Framework. This is the first hardware-based solution to govern and audit AI workflows. Verifiable compute represents a significant leap forward in ensuring that AI is explainable, accountable, and secure at runtime. It gives consumers and businesses new confidence to accelerate AI adoption and development. As a new era of autonomous AI agents emerges, we must evolve our trust in AI systems, said Jonathan Dotan, the founder of Equity Lab. Verifiable compute protects and controls AI data, models, and agents with the industry's most advanced cryptography. It transforms how organizations enforce AI governance, automate auditing, and collaborate to build safer and more valuable AI. Now, Verifiable Compute introduces a patent-pending hardware-based cryptographic AI notary and certificate system to isolate sensitive AI operations and notarize them with a tamper-proof record of every data object and code computed in AI training and inference. It also provides real-time compliance checks and enforcement of AI business policies and new sovereign AI regulation, such as the EU AI Act. Verifiable Compute's new layers of trust, and it's rooted right in the silicon of next-generation hardware from NVIDIA and Intel, setting the pace for a new standard of AI safety and innovation. I do think that this recent announcement from Equity Lab and Intel and NVIDIA is a huge step forward for AI, again, for all the reasons that were listed above. And I highly recommend paying attention to this and how this develops over the next few months. I do think NVIDIA is going to have another big year, and I do think Intel will probably have a big year in tandem with them, and I would pay attention to what Equity Lab does over the next coming months. Now, obviously, there's been a lot of other big companies within the AI space. Companies like Microsoft Corporation, trading on the NASDAQ as MSFT, had significant investment in AI through partnerships with OpenAI and integration of AI into its products. Obviously, one of the biggest names still within the AI space is going to be OpenAI, specifically with their ChatGPT program. And if you aren't familiar with that yet, you should definitely get yourself familiar with it because it is advancing at a rapid pace. Another big contender within the AI space has obviously been Alphabet Incorporated, trading on the NASDAQ as Google, with its AI development through Google Brain, DeepMind, and other projects. I will say, for me personally, one of the bigger elements has been Google Colab, where you can actually input coding, and you can use that in tandem with programs like OpenAI or X's Grok, or any of the different large language models which know how to input coding. So when you're using that in tandem with Google Colab, you can actually create a lot of quick projects with very little work, as well as very low cost. Now, obviously, another big player within the space is Meta Platforms Incorporated, trading on the NASDAQ as Meta, whose push into AI for social media platforms and other tech projects has gained attention, specifically with Llama, which was discussed in our previous AI podcast. So I highly recommend going back to that podcast and listening as I break down some of the main benefits of Llama. But it does have some standalone features that I do think separate it from some of the other large language models that are available. Now, some of the other big hitters within the AI space this year have also been Tesla Incorporated, trading on the NASDAQ as TSLA, for their AI efforts in autonomous driving technology, which are increasingly being discussed. Palantir Technologies Incorporated, trading on the NASDAQ as PLTR, who is known for their data analytics and AI platforms. C3AI Incorporated, trading on the NASDAQ as AI, which is a company focused solely on AI, as well as Baidu Incorporated, trading on the NASDAQ as BIDU, whose AI initiatives, particularly in China, have been making it a trending topic within the AI space. I would highly recommend looking into some of the news related to Baidu, as I do think that is going to be a fairly important discussion, especially with the new incoming administration within the U.S., and how that relates to relationships with China, and specifically how that relates with Baidu in the AI space right now. Now, there's a never-ending list of AI stocks that I could have gone through this year, and it does grow daily due to the fact that AI software, hardware, and applications are becoming more abundant and useful, and those developing new technologies within the space can utilize the previous AI developments that have been made to start new projects and companies with more and more ease. So I think many people have talked about the exponential growth of AI. There's a lot of potential when it comes to the actual AI development, but I do think one of the things that maybe gets missed sometimes is also the exponential growth of AI businesses. You're going to see more and more AI applications come out. You're going to see more and more companies using AI within their systems, and I do think that the growth is going to accelerate at a pretty rapid pace into the next year. We've seen a pretty staggering growth over 2024. There's no indicators that show that it is going to slow down at all going into 2025. And again, if the speculations around the changes in the U.S. administration are to be believed, you're actually going to see this growth accelerate because some of the current bureaucracies that are slowing down development in the AI space, specifically with AI startups, could be removed, which means that suddenly you could have even more AI startups in the U.S. and more focus on AI development out of the U.S., which is going to create more competition globally. And this could actually really just release the floodgates on the AI market at a staggering pace. I know that sounds ridiculous when you've considered how fast these companies have grown over the last year, but there still actually is a huge, huge amount of growth that can still happen. If you have not familiarized yourself with some of these top companies, I highly recommend doing so. Again, there's links attached in the article at investorideas.com. I highly recommend going through each company, reviewing some of their news over the year, reviewing some of their expectations for 2025, and also familiarize yourself with their actual products. If you haven't been using ChatGPT, if you haven't been using Grok on X, if you haven't been using any of these applications so far, it's time to get familiar with them because their growth is going to accelerate at a pretty rapid pace. And for someone who has actually been using these different products over the course of the year, there is actually a steep learning curve to getting accustomed to them. And as these products continue to develop, you have to keep pace with the learning curve to understand what the new features are and how to utilize them in your daily life as well as in your business work. So I highly recommend getting on that if you haven't already, though I assume if you're listening to this, you most likely have. Now, I can go through the big companies in more detail, but there's also a lot of smaller companies that you may have missed. Now, one of the ones to pay attention to might be Big Bear AI Holdings Incorporated, trading on the New York Stock Exchange as BBA, who still gets mentioned in the AI discussion for its low stock price, sometimes under $5, while still gaining attention for its AI analytics and governance and commercial sections. Another small company to pay attention to is SoundHound AI Incorporated, trading on the NASDAQ as SOUN, who has also been one of the lesser-known companies in the space, but is gaining attention for its voice AI and conversational intelligence technologies, and its stock price is also frequently below $10. Another small company to pay attention to is Veritone Incorporated, trading on the NASDAQ as Veri, and it's definitely one of the lower trading stocks in the sector, usually trading in the single digits, but it has been noted for its AI platform in media, entertainment, and other sectors. Specifically, earlier this month, the company announced the renewal of its long-standing exclusive global licensing agreement with CBS News. Now, the multi-year contract renewal solidifies Veritone's position as a premier provider of content licensing solutions for broadcast networks and expands the partnership to include exclusive local news content from CBS-owned stations. CBS News and stations will continue to utilize Veritone's AIware trademark enterprise AI platform, which enhances access to its extensive licensed content across numerous distribution channels, opening new monetization avenues. Now, the advanced AI capabilities of aiWARE index the CBX library and accurate time-correlated metadata to enable advanced and precise search and retrieval, helping researchers and creatives to quickly find specific scenes, quotes, or highlights, and automate right management and delivery. Now, obviously, following the Trump election, corporate media has come under heavy fire and seen record losses and drops in their audience, as well as some of their stock prices, but this does not completely delegitimize them or their impact on the news and the media landscape. And when we consider how other technologies in the past, considering how YouTube and podcasts dramatically impacted the media landscape, AI may have an even stronger impact on the next generation of news and media. And companies like Veritone Incorporated, as well as how they're partnering with CBS, are definitely something to pay attention to, because when you're comparing how content can be produced and the rate with which it can be produced, having access to something like the aiWARE trademark enterprise from Veritone could be extremely beneficial, and it could be the competitive edge that keeps them actually ahead of even independent media corporations or media creators. And this could be the big change that we see, is if they're able to use AI effectively, they could regain some of their positions within the media landscape, or you could see other more independent media operators use AI in the same space, and they could jump ahead as well. So paying attention to how AI impacts media over the next year is going to be very important. Also, when you start seeing AI-generated video, which is going to be coming out of OpenAI within the next coming year, is going to be another big game changer for the industry, and we'll see how that impacts the entire media landscape overall. Lastly, we look at QuantumScape Corporation, trading on the New York Stock Exchange as QS. While primarily known for its battery technology, its AI applications in material science have been discussed within the sector, making it another low-priced mover. Now, the company announced at the start of the month that next-generation heat treatment equipment for its separator production process, Cobra, has been developed, delivered, installed, and released for initial separator processing. Achieving this milestone on schedule puts the company on track to deliver high-volume samples for its first planned commercial product in 2025, and it's a major step toward the commercialization of solid-state batteries for electric vehicles. Now, Cobra represents a significant innovation in ceramic solid-state separator production, benefiting both scalability and cost efficiency. This milestone is the culmination of years of advanced R&D and QuantumScape's fast separator production process, the core innovation that will allow its battery technology to be manufactured at gigawatt-hour scale. Cobra is a true breakthrough in ceramics manufacturing and will pave the way for the scale of our battery technology, said Tim Holm, the co-founder and CTO of QuantumScape. I'm delighted with how the team has overcome challenges and kept the process rollout on track this year. Honestly, I could list companies all day long. Again, when we're looking at QuantumScape and looking at companies like NVIDIA, hardware is definitely going to be a big factor, but also AI software and the applications that go with it are going to be another huge aspect of the industry. Again, we talked about this in length in the last AI podcast that was put out by Investor Ideas, so I highly recommend going back to that and taking a look at it. And again, there's a lot of different companies that I could be listing, smaller stock companies as well as larger stock companies that have been missed. There is, again, exponential growth within the AI space, not just in AI development, but also within the companies popping up that are either specifically focused on AI development, AI hardware, or AI software, or companies that are utilizing AI in their business. The list could go on, but one other topic that is getting a lot of attention within the AI space in the last few months, specifically more than anything, is the topic of AI agents, specifically in the topic of AI agents and crypto trades. Now, AI agents, if you're unfamiliar with them, basically are an AI operator that can perform tasks while you're not performing them. Now, when you're considering how fast crypto trades are done and the volatility of the crypto market, this is a huge advantage within the crypto space. AI agents in crypto have been gaining significant traction, with projects like Goat, Intern, Ziboro, and Dolos capturing a lot of attention, and there's a narrative that AI agents could herald a new era in crypto with terms like agentic web, being thrown around, suggesting a future where AI agents autonomously handle transactions and interactions on blockchain networks. Now, there's still a debate on whether this represents genuine technological advancement or if it's largely speculative, especially with AI agents being used to create and manage meme tokens. This conversation has not been all positive, as there are many concerns about sustainability, the risk of model collapse where AI performance degrades over time due to feedback loops, security issues, and the potential for market manipulation. The ethical implications of AI in finance, especially regarding decision-making and accountability, are also being heavily debated. Even on X, AI agents are not just theoretical, but they are actively engaging with users, providing analysis, even trading tips, or cultural commentary, which does add a layer of interactivity, but does also add a layer of risk. If you're not paying attention to the AI agent conversation, it is definitely time to start, especially if you're paying attention to crypto. This is going to be probably one of the biggest impacts on the crypto market over the next year, as it seems already the vast majority of crypto trading is being done through AI agents. And whether this gets regulated, whether this gets possibly proven obsolete, as again you create these feedback loops where all the trades are being done by AI and they're all being fed the same information, so then the trades actually create a stagnation. All of that is still unsure at the moment, but if you are paying attention to it, there are a large number of YouTube videos, there's a large number of X conversations, and there's a large number of discussions out there of people selling AI agents to trade crypto for you, as well as talking about the risks of AI agents. Now, this year has been one wild ride for AI, and if you haven't familiarized yourself with these tools, again, I highly recommend doing this now. If you do not get a jump on it now, you're going to find yourself miles and miles behind in the coming year, as this is only expected to continue to grow at an exponential pace. And again, when I talk about exponential growth, I'm not just talking about the actual technological innovations within the AI space, but I'm also talking about the companies and the players within that AI marketplace. You're going to see more people jump into AI. You're going to see more utilization of AI. You're going to see AI start to come into government situations. Again, you're already seeing that in a variety of different parts of the world, including the US. When you're looking at some of their defense contracts, some of them are already implementing AI, as they obviously would. And it's going to be a bigger and bigger discussion. So if you're not familiar with how these products work, even for doing your own research, you should start doing this now, as again, these products are going to continue to grow. And if you don't know which products work best, how to use them, or really even what's going on in more than just a theoretical viewpoint, you have to actually get your hands on these programs to really understand their capabilities and the impact that they're going to have. And this is the time to hop on board before this train leaves entirely. That's all for today's podcast.
Thanks for listening to today's podcast. InvestorIdeas.com is the go-to platform for big investing ideas. From breaking stock news to top-rating investing podcasts, we cover it all. Our original branded content includes podcasts such as Exploring Mining, Clean Tech, Crypto Corner, Cannabis News, and the AI. To learn more about our site, go to InvestorIdeas.com. Our site does not make recommendations for purchases or sale of stocks, services, or products. Nothing on our site should be construed as an offer or solicitation to buy or sell products or securities. All investing involves risk and possible losses. Paid content is always disclosed and in disclaimer for paid content if needed. Global investors must adhere to regulations of each country, and please read InvestorIdeas.com privacy policy.